Tonight, let's stand and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have some guests with us tonight. We got Andrea Nigli. She's our co-chairman of our dairy parade and the program that they do more than just a dairy parade. Correct?
Yes. Yep, we have a dairy ambassador program, so we help with the girls, getting them out, and boys, if they're involved, getting them out and helping promote the dairy industry around Portland County. And then the dairy parade, of course.
Right. Which we had a truck in it, thanks to Kyle and to Sarah being part of that.
I did nothing but wave.
But wait, well, somebody had to do it, right?
Kyle got it down there.
But this is also Dairy Month, and this is something that I don't ever recall the town of Homer doing it. So we're gonna do a proclamation declaring June Dairy Month in the town of Homer. So Sarah, would you read that and then present it to Andrea, please?
Town of Homer Proclamation, June Dairy Month, June 2026. Whereas dairy farming has long been an important part of the town of Homer, Cortland County, and New York State, contributing significantly to our local economy, agricultural heritage, and rural character. And whereas dairy farmers work tirelessly every day of the year to provide safe, nutritious, and wholesome dairy products for families throughout our community and beyond. And whereas the dairy industry supports local jobs, strengthens our agricultural economy, preserves valuable farmland, and promotes responsible stewardship of our natural resources. And whereas milk and dairy products provide essential nutrients that contribute to the health and well-being of people of all ages. And whereas June Dairy Month provides an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the dedication, hard work, and contributions of dairy farmers, farm families, agricultural businesses, and all those involved in the dairy industry. Now, therefore, I, Michael Park, Town Supervisor, on behalf of the Town Board of Town of Homer, do hereby proclaim June 2026 as June Dairy Month in the Town of Homer and encourage all residents to recognize the important role of dairy farming in our community and to support our local dairy producers and agricultural businesses.
So thank you, Andrea, thank you for doing what you do, help promoting it, and it is our biggest industry in our town and also in our county.
Well, thank you. I was going to say some of the same things that were in here, but looking at the board member, we have some farm families here, and it's our job to help you promote the dairy industry, and I thank you for being a leader and providing a voice for the agricultural community, and so thank you for what you do.
Right, we're blessed with two farm families on our board. My business is very agriculturally minded also. I know Premier, Caleb's is probably.
Future farmer.
And Kevin feeds us also. His is very heavy dependent on it.
Uses agricultural products.
That's right. So again, thank you for that. And we're going to try to do this every year, be ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve a little bit.
That was perfect. Thank you.
We got it done. Yep. So it's important. Moving on to our minutes of April 8th. Thank you, guys. So need a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the May.
Okay, we need a second?
I'll second.
Okay, there is one correction. General bills, if you look down, general bills was audited by Councilman Warren. That was a misprint.
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch that.
Brandon
picked it up and Brooke's gonna make a change, but since these are official, we need to change it. I do not remember who audited those. Do you? Anybody remember who audited the general bills?
It was the stack.
The big stack. That was you. No wonder you remembered.
That's right.
Okay, so with that one change, is there anything else in our minutes? Those in favor of accepting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Who did the general bills this month?
I did. So we've got abstract number 6. And then vouchers 170 through 204. The abstract was for some more invoices for downstairs, so that was a pretty good chunk right there. And then vouchers 170 through 204 totaled 101, 194, 36. So I make a motion that we get all those paid out for general bills.
Okay, we need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Highway bills.
I have highway bills, let's see, we have vouchers, 63 through 78, total of $27,770. I make a motion to accept and pay the highway bills.
Need a second? Second. Any discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Escrow bills. Sarah?
I did those, there was just two. One invoice was for Dan for his time working on the project for $855, and then the other one was stormwater review for $500. Make a motion to approve these two.
Okay, we need a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on them? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, our monthly reports.
I make a motion that we receive and file the chief's clerk, code dog, highway, and supervisor reports.
And we have two supervisors.
Highway and supervisor.
Two
April and May.
Yeah, we have two
April.
supervisors.
Maze wasn't ready last.
Both.
Yep.
Okay. So I make a motion that we receive and file chief's clerk, code dog, highway, and supervisor for April and May.
Second. Any discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So on the supervisor's report, something I haven't done, I'm gonna start doing it, I'm gonna give you guys a little overview. So we're 5 months in. We should be at 42% of our budget, which we are. We're hitting our target, we're tracking very well. We have a few areas as of May 31, 2026, the town of Homer remains, we're in a strong financial position, cash and general fund revenues are tracking on schedule due to receipt of property taxes and our sales taxes. Sales tax has come in what we projected, so it's down, of course, but it is where we projected it to be. While several state aid revenues are still pending, the general fund shows expenditures above budget primarily due to transfers supporting the town hall capital improvement project, which was budgeted for and set aside in reserves. So in our financial report, you'll see where it does skew it a little bit, but that's not new money, that's money that we have budgeted over the last number of years that we just transferred into our general fund to pay the bills. So that will track out at the end of the year. So if we take that out, we're right where we should be. Highway funds remain healthy with major revenues such as CHIPS reimbursements and portions of sales tax revenue still to be received. CHIPS just came in. Main expenditures are now starting with road repair in full swing, but we will stay within planned budget. Kyle and I've already talked about that. We got a little bit more for CHIPS, but we're not gonna spend that right now. We're gonna stay within our budget that we set out. When he gets done, just like we did last year, we'll see where we shook out, and then he's always got some more catch up to do, and then we'll know exactly where we stand so we don't go over budget. Our building permits is a nice revenue, has significantly exceeded budget projections, and our overall fund balances remain strong. So I'm continuously monitoring the town's finances to keep us on track, along with Fred, our bookkeeper, and our clerk. So we're looking at this every day, and the girls are always questioning, different bills. So we're on track, we're doing fine, and we're gonna do everything we can to keep us there. So that's the supervisors, where we stand on that. Any questions on that part? Privilege of the floor.
I'm gonna let you go first. By all means. Good to see everybody tonight. Happy summer to all of you. Sent my monthly update to you in your emails earlier this afternoon. Just going to touch on a couple of highlights. Obviously, there were many months of robust, if I dare use that term, public debate over occupancy tax resolution. It did pass at our May 2026 legislative session. I was in the minority vote on that. I was in opposition to that. You know, it is what it is. It moves on. It has gone to both state houses. It's been passed both state houses. So at this point, it just awaits the governor's signature for that to become the new tax law for Portland County. Throughout the summer, you know, weather's getting warmer. I've been able to interact quite a bit more with constituents than I am in the winter. We had a great district meeting last week, about a dozen or so attendees in that, lots of questions about lots of different topics, from good governance and term limits, a lot of questions about where the jail is at and what the county's progress is with the jail. So a lot of great topics discussed there. I will also be this summer, despite the county going on, and some will disagree with me when I use this term, but I will anyway, vacation in July, which is a permanent change to our bylaws that the county has decided to take a month off every July. We're one of 2 counties in the state to do that, but I digress. I will be doing a listening tour of District 10. I will be hitting every single street and every single road in District 10 from now until August, pretty robustly throughout the month of July on weekends, and listening to folks' concerns and questions and what they're thinking about the direction of our county government. So to that end, in my memo to you, the schedule in there is included. If at any point any of you would like to join me, I've extended that same invitation to the village. I'm going to extend that same invitation to the chair of the legislature. Would love to have you join me on the weekend for a couple hours. Come on out, meet some folks, and hear directly on front porches and steps. I think that's the best way to hear input from constituents. Other than that, there's a bunch of stuff there in my report, but that's all I got for you.
Okay, any questions for Reed? I did print it out, we'll take a read at it, so thank you for that. Pat?
Some things, so, and we have the village comp plan. I know that you may have some constituents in your areas that are Homer residents, so if you would share that with them. And you've already got some, so. So Monday, the 15th of, do you want me up there? Yeah, sure. Well, I'm showing you guys my best side. So Monday the 15th will be at the Center for the Arts in the evening. We'll be having the first of our public sessions for the Village of Homer residents to go through and provide input on the comp plan. The second thing I have is, and I'd like to thank Sarah, we had another roundabout meeting with the state, and I'd like to thank Sarah for coming out to that and providing input. And I was going to ask, has anybody reached out to you?
No.
One of the key takeaways that we learned, amongst many, is that they have in their modeling for, WG85s, the large tractor trailers, but what they don't have in their simulations and modeling is any farm equipment. So they just made the assumption that, farm equipment, if a tractor trailer can go through, then farm equipment can go through. Sarah made a great thing about one of the disc plows.
My dad's just fine. My dad will take everything out when he
It's
goes around
like-
the corner.
Well, she says, it's 17 feet wide, and they go, well, can't you fold it up? And it's like,
That
that's
is folded up.
17 feet wide when it is folded up.
Yeah.
And, we talked about some of the manure trucks going through and how there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for
Loaded vehicles.
Yes. And because one of the things they're saying is that, well, the roundabouts will have like a low curb so tractor trailers can go over it. Well, some of these honey trucks, as my family used to call them, are a little top heavy, and that is not something you exactly want to have spill over on the side of the road. So I'd again like to thank Sarah for coming out, providing input. It's still an ongoing discussion. Instead of having a hearing on this, they originally said September, October. Now they're saying closer to the end of October, November. These drafts that you see here are preliminary, which means they say they're about 30%. When they get open towards the end of November, they'll have something a little bit further. Sarah, do you have anything you wanted to add about the discussion?
Yeah, I mean, having the roundabouts themselves are one thing, and if they were all done, if they were done properly for all of the things that need to go through. My bigger concern is they have absolutely no plan. They're estimating 1.5 to 2 years for each roundabout. They have no plan how they're going to handle traffic, specifically farm equipment, because there's a lot of farms in the area, and it just happens to be always us. But we have over 90% of our fields that we have to get access through those two roads, and they're going to shut one direction down completely for 1.5 to 2 years. And when I asked them how we were going to be allowed to get to our fields on time, they have no clue. They don't have an answer. They have no idea about farming. They have no idea about timeliness. There is no rerouting to get to our fields on 90 and 41. So I'm really nervous that they don't have a plan how to handle traffic. I'm also nervous for all the businesses in the area for how, they just don't have a plan.
Because they want to do both at the same time.
They're going to do one and then the other. They're going to do one
So
first,
three
and then when it's
project.
done, it's going to be 3 to 4 years. That side of Homer is going to be under construction, and the traffic will be shut down. And they haven't decided which direction yet, but they have no plan. So I'm very, very, very concerned about that part of it.
So-
Not just for the farms, but for the businesses as well.
It's still early in the discussion, but like I said, we've already identified some key sticking points that they need to come back.
I'm waiting for them to call so I can give them a ride on the chopper.
Well, that's the thing, you offered to have the engineers come out and take a ride in some of the equipment, and waiting to hear back from them.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah. So then the last thing I have, second to last is you may have noticed that I'd like to thank the town for allowing us to put some of the historical pictures up. Those are on loan from the Historical Society in the village. And then, as you guys can see, our co-historian, Martin Sweeney, and David Quinlan put those up today. Looks great. And I would be remiss, and the fire department would kill me, if I did not mention that this weekend is Homer Fireman Field Days. So, Homer Fireman Field Days, come on out.
Come on out.
Love it.
So, you guys have done that. I'll have these afterwards if you guys want to take a look at them.
Yeah, thank you, Pat.
That's all I got, Mike.
One of the things I want to comment on these roundabouts, it is going to be detrimental to traffic. But as Kevin's pointed out in the past, we got the most gas pumps. This is a very busy exit, and that's really going to curtail that, which is going to hurt the sales tax for this county. So Reed, with you being here, maybe the county could help intervene a little bit to look into this. We think left-hand turn lanes would be more beneficial instead of roundabouts.
Time-wise, for sure.
Yeah, their comment on that is this is not a flow control project. This is a safety project, and as far as safety is concerned, in their eyes, roundabouts are safer. It also doesn't take into account that for some of the, like Burn Dairy and Joe's Quick Mart, they'll be pretty much closing down an entrance, so you'll have to only go in one way, out one way.
Meanwhile, the traffic will be shut down on one direction or the other, so they're going
Right.
to lose a ton of business.
You come by any weekend, those two gas stations are packed. I mean, it's gonna be detrimental. But anyway, so we gotta go to the hearings, we just gotta be, but like you said, Pat, the state's gonna do what the state wants to do.
Yep, but I mean, at least we can try, like Sarah brought up and we've brought up on some of these other points, and some of them are having their own aha moments. We just hope that enough of it sticks so that we can mitigate as much of these potential issues now as opposed to trying to figure it out later.
Great. Tim, did you have anything? Anybody else? Okay, anybody else? Privilege of the floor, Mike? The other thing I wanna say before we close the privilege of the floor, we had a great time at the parade. Memorial Day, that was a lot of fun, we appreciate, being invited. We paid for flags for the cemetery in different areas that they asked for, so we always chip in on that. And if you notice out front, steal some of the clerk's thunder, they had the great idea that we should get those, what do you call them, valance to put on the front? So they're-
Bunting.
What do they call them?
Bunting.
Buntings, okay. And it looks nice, Kyle put them up today and his guys, so we're getting ready for the 250th anniversary, and we'll start doing that every year, putting them back up. So I think it looks just a great addition, so it was a great parade, it was a nice turnout and a good time. We have the sheriff with us tonight. Welcome, Mark. And I don't know if you want to give us an update on the county. I know I talked to the sheriff on Sweeney Road and the traffic control, and I did get some good feedback from some people living on there. They said they've seen your cars up there and stuff.
Yeah, we've had, actually, if it makes you feel any better, I've had like 3 towns and a village that have been getting some complaints on speeds. So you're not the only one that's hearing it. I'd love to tell you I got people where I could stick them, there all day and do that sort of thing, but it's just not, it's not feasible as you can imagine. But with Sweeney Road specifically, I have had one of my part-time officers, I've had him sit up there on 2 different occasions. And just basically sitting in a car, I call it my soccer mom car, but sits up there so it's not one that stands out so people don't slow down when they see it. Take every speed for a certain amount of time and just see what we're seeing. Because a lot of times we'll get that, well, they're all flying by my house. Sometimes that isn't true. I'm not saying that there isn't cars that go by your house fast. It's just sometimes it's not what people think it is. So we kind of do that just to kind of judge and see what we got there and that sort of thing, and then go from there. So when you called me, we happen to be doing that already there, so that kind of helped out. But I got 2 of them. I'll leave them with you so that you can kind of see 2 different times. So we can show we've done it different times, different days. So it's like you just got a bad day or whatever else. But on this particular road, and again, I'm not saying that they're not speeding on that road. I'm just telling you, we just didn't really see any on these 2 dates. I think the one time, 2 3/4 hours about, this was more midday, 64 vehicles, no speeds. None that we would write tickets for. Actually, they're all pretty good, you'll see them. The other part of the day was more afternoon, evening, so that one there, 3 hours, 90 vehicles, with one speed of 68. And you gotta remember that zone there is a 55, even though a lot of times you would think it would be, but that's
Right.
no marking, that's a 55 zone. So, I'll have cars when I can, but to be quite honest, every road from 90 to 222, they're all flying down those roads, and I don't doubt that there's not some speeding on that, but I can't be in all of them at once, and we still got 14 other towns I gotta hit.
Right, absolutely.
So we're doing the best we can. I wish I could tell you we could be there more. But we are hitting them when we can, so hopefully, the public is seeing the cars there. It's kind of, it really is hitting them while we can. You're there. If you listen to the radios at all, they get called, they just get there and they get called away. So we're trying to keep them there, but we're seeing complaints on the speed about it. People just are driving differently from what I seen when I started. We always had speeds and that sort of thing, but I think you see it when you're out. You're seeing people are driving what I call aggressively, cutting in the lanes and in and out, and they're on their phones and all the stuff that we see every day that, do the best we can with it, but it's just, it's hit and miss, really.
So one of the things that we're looking at, we were looking at lowering the speed limit, and that's on our agenda tonight, but also buying a speed camera. So talking with you, your thoughts on a speed camera, the ones that we were looking at, and it's coming up next, we'll monitor their speed, count how many cars, and we can do a readout so that when you're not there, so when somebody is complaining, we've had a couple other complaints, Creel Road and stuff, they're saying everybody's speeding, we could put up our own and at least track it. Is that wise? Does that actually help in slowing people down in your experience?
I think it can. It really depends on where and what and who's actually doing the speeding there. Sometimes we get a complaint that's a local person they see every day when they're going to work and when they're not.
Right.
That one we can take care of, you know, you stop them, you talk with them, you give them a ticket or whatnot, and that usually cures that. That's most of the time not the case. So with these, if you get one that's portable, at least you can move it around, because we do take, I've only got 2, and one was donated to me, thank God, that's why I've got the 2, but, we'll move them around, people do like to see them, I think that would probably help for, you know, the people in your jurisdiction, I think they would like to at least see that, because I can't always be there. The nice thing with this is, so I can't do this forever either, and you'd have your own. I did talk to you, be careful where you put them, so that, you know, you're getting them in an area where radars reach a long way without getting all the science into that, but that basically goes as far as it can see. Well, if you're doing a 35 and it actually goes into a 55, it's, holy cow, they're doing 55 in my 35 all day long. No, they're really not. They're driving out in the 55 and it's getting hit from there. So just be careful where you put it, and we can always help, you know, with input with that if you need it.
Okay.
But that's kind of the only real, I don't know if you call it a horror story, but I did have a town that had that. And every time we go down there, I'd sit there with them, I was like, I can tell you why you got all these speeds. It doesn't mean they're not speeding through that town, because they do, but I can tell you the speeds that you're getting consistently at this is because it's about, as far as I can see them coming through, my radar will pick them up too.
Okay.
So it's just one of those you kind of got to watch, and that just because you come in, you got a bunch of speeds doesn't mean you got a huge problem. But that will give you kind of what we're doing, so at least you have your own readings and you can look at those. So, and then you can tell me too, because it does help a lot. Where if I only got a little bit of time where when the officers are free, you kind of know maybe what your peak hours are. And a lot of that for us is, look, we don't hide the cars, we sit them out because we want them to slow down. We want them to know we're there. So then when we're not, they're kind of like, I don't know, if, you know, I'm not hiding them, but they're not sitting, you know, right on the side of the road.
Yep.
So it's one of those, the whole thing is to educate the public to slow them down. So, but I don't think they're a bad thing. I really can't say if, I guess you would tell me after you get them, unfortunately, that whether you thought it was a big thing or you're still getting the calls or not. But you are the 3rd town right now that's looking at these. I can tell you recently, I talked to somebody today. So that's kind of the thing. And my thing is, if you can afford to put them out, it helps me because I've only got the 2. And I will no sooner move one, they'll be complaining it's not back there yet. So I think that'll help you in that aspect where I can't. So.
Okay, so it'll help everybody. So we're gonna talk about that next. They're more economical than I thought they were gonna be for everyone. So, yeah. Any questions for the sheriff? I really appreciate your time and sticking through it and doing what you do for us. It's great.
It's nice to come out and see everybody once in a while, see familiar faces.
Yeah, next time hopefully we'll meet downstairs and we'll try out our conference room. We're gonna get some,
Awesome, so.
yeah, so we appreciate you coming. Feel free to stay if you'd like, but feel free to go. I know you're a busy man and you got a lot going on.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk about speed camera, but you know what, I'll get Chief Pittman up, he's here too, and that way he doesn't have to stay all night either.
Well, thanks for
Hi,
everybody
Chief.
for having me tonight. Just an update downstairs. Started moving after the open house and transitioned over to the month of May. We're in full operation downstairs. Things are pretty going smooth. A couple bugs to work out, I spoke to you about them. But other than that, I think things are going great. To add to the pictures on the wall, we've been down into our lobby. We've got our historical pictures up from previous chiefs. We've got a display case down there, so we got the opportunity to stop down and check that out. So, but things are going great. But I appreciate everybody's support on bringing us over here.
So all the officers that I talked to just love it, all good responses from everybody. How about the general public coming?
That's a lot of great compliments.
Court night, I see this place is packed on court night. Is the new setup working effectively with the door there and stuff, or not using it right now?
They're not using it. So a lot of people are still just using the current door. They're going in courtroom. But there is a lot of people.
Are you getting an overflow into, not yet, maybe when the weather turns bad?
Yeah.
Okay,
Things are going really good.
great, so we appreciate that. We love having you here, and we've been talking to them about more security here. We're gonna do some buzzers and stuff coming up. It's a great sounding board for us and gives everybody a better sense of security, having them here with the cameras and monitoring them.
We're glad to be over here.
So, all right, well, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief.
So guys, if you get a minute, sometime go down into the hallway down there where you put up the pictures and stuff. It really looks great. It's coming along nice.
Are you surprised?
Yeah. Some of these are.
We're coming right along. So I want to go back to the next thing on the agenda, so you have them in your packets, is the speed cameras. So I reached out and got 3 different prices. Kyle helped on that. Thank you, Kyle, for the one. So the ones, we got 2 here that are very close. Crossroads Highway Supply and the new Evalis, that would be the second one in there. And then we got a third one from J.C. Smith. The third one I'm not at all interested. It doesn't really fit our needs because it only records a very low speed and it doesn't record. The other 2 here for $3,855, the one I'm going to recommend, will track people up to 150 mile an hour. It'll record how many cars and the speeds. So then we can program it. We can check it off our phone. We can check it off a computer and get a printout. So we can really monitor what we're doing. It's solar charged with a battery. It's Bluetooth, so we can control the color. You can change your background colors, red, blue, yellow. So it gives us some options there. Miles per hour and kilometers, so we'll stick with the miles per hour. The other one, the Evalis, that's about basically the same thing, and that was $4,000, and they're out of New York City, and I chatted with them. That seems like a very good one. So I think either one of these 2, the third one from J.C. Smith, that gets, in my packet it got stapled. That's quite a lot less, $3,000, but it does not do everything that I would like to see it do. It doesn't record speeds and stuff. Thoughts, discussion on this?
I like the one with the data.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you gotta get.
I agree. That's why I think the 3855 is the one I'd like us, and they're right out of Nedrow, so they're local support. The other company was out of New York City, and J.C. Smith is Ithaca and stuff, they're local, but I don't know how much support they would be on that one.
The thing about it is that once we purchase this, we get another complaint, well, we don't have to necessarily get the sheriff involved right away, we can do our own due diligence as well.
And just exactly what the sheriff said, is people actually speeding or is it presumed speeding? When you're looking at this chart here, majority of the speed limit's in the 40s, low 50s, so there isn't, and again, but that's only in selected hours. This will give us 24-hour coverage. Already talked to Kyle about it. We'll set up a trailer and put it on a trailer, and then he can move it, chain it to a tree, telephone pole, whatever it's gonna take, and move it to different areas for whatever we get complaints. People are speeding. Creel Road, I know they've asked for reduction in the speed limit, and so before we even entertain any reductions in speed limit, we can put this out and really see what the speeds are.
I'd be curious to know also, we see the radar go up. I would be interested to see, does it change from these numbers that he's got recorded to then actually seeing their speed? Does that actually change the people's mindset? So it'll be an interesting to look at the statistics.
I'm sure it does, because I know I do a lot of driving too, and if I'm coming into a town or something and you see that start flashing at you, it says, oh gosh, it makes me make sure I'm doing the speed limit.
I agree.
I'm getting one of those in my house.
For you? Well, there isn't one, that's good. But I didn't leave all those black marks in the road.
I had to try out the new tires.
I'm just hardly getting up to speed by your house. So thoughts, do we have a motion to purchase one of these and move ahead? It'd take about, and I asked them the question, I didn't write it down, I think 3 to 5 days to get one.
We're getting a lot of people calling in. They call me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We all like this one, Crossroads Highway?
That's the one I
I
like.
like the one with the data recording, the 24 hours.
So these two, that's 38 and the other one for 4,000. They're equivalent.
Yep.
So for 38.55.
Plus if it's in Nedro and they're willing to, they
They'll
service
help,
these
yeah,
two.
yeah, because Kyle uses them. Kyle's the one that recommended we talk.
Deliver to people.
I like this idea because it'll be immediate. I mean, even if we do go for a speed limit change, that'll take forever. It'll take a long time before it actually gets through. So this will be immediately something out there.
Yeah, we use it somewhere else.
Yeah. I like it.
So we need a motion then?
I'll make a motion, having received 3 responsible bids for the traffic radar device. Make a motion that we choose Crossroads Highway Supply in the amount of $3,855.
I'll second.
Second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So this one will go to Sweeney Road first or Health Camp Road?
Sweeney Road, we don't need one at Elk Camp. I know how fast I'm going.
Sorry, Tim.
Tim may need it for him.
I wanna check my speedometer, make sure it's working right.
Is it? Good.
That's a real smart solution.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
There's one going down into Groton on 222, and it works.
Very good.
I always check.
Gully has its.
Cop sitting right behind.
Yeah, there's one going into Fabius Pompey, and I always slow down when I
Yes,
see it
same
too.
thing.
I know the village set some out. You have some, right, correct? Ken?
Just radar
Yeah, it doesn't record. That's what the other one, yeah,
would be very helpful.
right. So we get it again, that'll be, if we don't always need it, it's gonna be, so we can share it, absolutely. Okay. Moving on. Kyle, you're up, and then we'll get you out of here.
Yeah, just to, while we're on the radar subject there, I get flooded with calls with stuff like that, so thank you for taking that on, and if you're, helping me out tremendously, it's benefiting everybody. So, thank you. We continue to inspect, clean, organize our facility. One thing I've never touched on, and the improvements that we've made, we are now in compliance with PESH, safety standards. The shop is, everything's good. The equipment, same thing, clean, service, maintenance, inspect. There's a lot of it. We have some new guys. We have the best crew I think we've ever had. Everybody's very, they want to work. They want to be there. They're mentally there. Mike's helped me interview them. Equipment's being maintained, serviced. Our new mower, we've been mowing our roadsides. I think works great. Appreciate we got into that for a real good deal. It's just it's a treat to run it as well. Operator comfort, it's just a real nice piece of equipment. We're taking good care of it every day. Make sure we do our greasing. We had John Deere and the mower company come down, make sure we're driving it properly, operating it properly, and servicing it and maintaining it. Every day you're looking for specific things, grease, making sure the stuff's not leaking. And there's maintenance schedules, and so we're taking care of it with all the other equipment. We're doing some work around the town hall, here and there. We're doing some culvert work on various roads, seasonal roads we've graded. I know there's a lot of stuff we gotta catch up on with tree and vegetation management, but we started our roads. Our road work is this month and next month. We like it to be warm and dry, or hot and dry. Some roads, it depends on the road, is what we put a lot of time and thought into what we're gonna do, what we're gonna spend. And we've had conversations after conversations on our homework, improve on what we did last year. It just depends on the road, is how it gets treated. Some roads need a little bit of work here and there, we have limited amount of money. So, but we're very happy with the way things are going. If your road needs work, we will get there. So that's what we're doing the next month and a half. Along with our other stuff. Our coverall building for our salt, the walls are concrete and the salt deteriorates, dissolves the concrete over a long period of time. We've cleaned that out, we've washed it, acid bathed it, swept it, and we've tarred it to preserve that. And that had been done since it was new. Hopefully we get a lot more years out of it. And we're inspecting that. We found some rips in the cover. So everything's getting looked at, inspected. We're continuing to clean up around. Again, we have all this other stuff to do as well. And then we did the, I see you put the dairy parade thing in there. We drove the truck at the dairy parade. That was
You
pretty
had
cool.
fun.
We had a lot-
You had a lot of
The kids
fun.
were so excited, they were waving.
You
with
were
both
so
hands.
excited.
Our biggest kid, right?
Every time they asked him to honk the horn, he'd be like, "Oh, it's gonna be real loud," and he'd do it, and the smile on his face was that was great. That was fun.
That was a treat, really. It was to see everybody excited like that.
I forgot how big it was.
But appreciate all the help and support because it's like I say the signs and the speed limit thing is just we're giving it 100%, but makes it easy when everybody's putting it.
Along with Kyle, I'm working on putting a booklet together, so when somebody calls in for speed limit,
That's what
if they call in for lights or whatever, we got a procedural book. I've got it almost done that. He's gonna be able to have, the clerk's gonna have it. Somebody calls in, you get your name, it gets everything in there, and then it can be done, research, come back to the board. He'll have it filled out.
That was the main thing that I was going to
Go
touch
ahead,
on. Is there's no policies or procedures for any of this at the highway department. I'm not going to just go put a sign up. There's laws that we have to abide by and procedures, and so that's what. So yeah, I can't thank you guys enough.
So in my spare time, I work on that with Kyle.
So everybody's going to benefit from it, and then we'll know once we get here's a procedure for it.
It makes it easier, and then our constituents know that we take it seriously. This is a procedure that we have to go, because we have to follow a procedure. We just can't say, yeah, put a speed limit sign on there.
When people call the highway department, I make sure that we get them an answer at least. It might not be, so.
Yep.
Not important, so. It won't be for the lack of effort over there, but appreciate a lot of the support.
Any questions for Kyle? So Kyle, I want to thank you and your crew for, making the town of Homer visible is very important, being part of that dairy parade. I think it's important that we do more stuff like that.
Yeah, that was.
Being visible in the community.
We're gonna put a cow on a truck next year.
There we go.
We were brainstorming ideas halfway through for next year.
Our equipment looks well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anytime I call Kyle, we need stuff done down here, they respond as quick as they can. Their main priority is roads. But like today, they were caught up for a little bit, they put our balance, is that what you call them, up front. They cleaning out a shed, they put some signs up. So they're very responsive for us, and we really appreciate that. We appreciate
Guys
your
are
crew.
working hard. They show up on time, and they're mentally there and out there with them, making sure stuff's getting done, so.
All right, well, thank you.
Very good. Yes, thanks.
Thanks, Kyle.
Have a good
Go home
one.
and get rested.
Thanks, Kyle.
So I want to back up to what's number 12 on our agenda. We mark our agendas now, so we got our numbers. So our reassessment. So I'm just going to read that. I've been talking to Brian Fitz, our assessor. So for the 2027 assessment roll, where things stand at the end of September 2025. You know what, Dan, can you read that? Because I'm going to lose my voice here. I think it's going.
Sure. At the end of September 2025, we sent out data mailers asking property owners to look over their house information and let us know if anything needed updating. The response was excellent, and I'm now going through each one and updating the property database. This part of the project should wrap up late this summer. So what's coming next? Once the data updates are finished, I'll move on to reviewing property sales from the past 5 years. Those sales will help build evaluation models that estimate today's market value for properties that haven't sold recently. I expect this work to be completed in the fall. After that, I'll start comparing each parcel's estimated value to what the models predict. I'll also be doing field reviews to make sure the property information we have on file matches what's actually there. New assessments and notices. New assessments will be completed in February 2027. Disclosure notices, which show your new assessment and the estimated tax impact, will be mailed out during the first week of March 2027. Opportunities to talk with me. Property owners will be able to meet with me informally throughout March and April to go over their new assessments, ask questions, or share information. The tentative roll will be filed by May 1st, 2027. I'll continue meeting with property owners during May as well. Grievance day is May 27th, 2027, which is the formal opportunity to challenge an assessment.
Okay, thank you. So that's where we are in the process. It's not gonna have an impact on our tax base this year, but next year, our town assessment, I just received that from the county yesterday. Our assessed value, we're down to 60%, so it's much needed. There is some municipalities lower. The city of Cortland and the town of Virgil just completed theirs last year. The city completed the year before, and they're already down to 96%. So in 1 year, it dropped tremendously. And it's gonna continue, I think, with Micron actually really coming. They're starting to build in, and it's gonna put more pressure on housing, because there is a housing shortage. And I know the county's looking at it, we're all looking at it. So, and that's what drives the value down, our assessments down, because there's not enough housing on the market. So, but we have to get it up. We gotta be up, because it affects what we receive in sales tax, and it affects what we receive in state aid. So that's why we started this process. But it is a little bit of a process, and we'll be there. And again, it's not gonna be in time to help us with our sales tax this year. We're gonna take another big hit on sales tax for the next 3 years, so that's coming up. We're already looking at that, how it's gonna affect us, so we can't do anything, but we'll see where it pans out. The positive side on that for us, as I said, there's more building going on. That will tremendously help offset some of the sales tax, because it'll increase our tax base. So I'm hoping we're gonna be, I don't know where we're gonna end up this year until I see all the numbers, but it's gonna affect us for the next 3 years. So that's where we're on the highway assessment. So number 14, Chris Muller from our ZBA board, he resigned, so we have to accept his resignation. So I'll make the motion that we accept Chris Muller's resignation from the ZBA board. Effective, what was it effective? It's effective first of the month.
It's like,
What's it?
it was last month,
Last
the
month.
end.
At the end of
It
the
was
month, yeah.
27th.
I'll second that. So we just gotta receive and file that. So you second it. Any discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Form yet?
What's that?
Do you have a replacement?
Now, yeah, we'll go to that next. Let's vote on this. We gotta receive and file. All in favor, receive and file Chris Muller's resignation. Say aye.
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 Opposed? So no, we haven't replaced the ZBA member. I've talked to Kevin. So we're looking right now. Kevin's looking. So if a name comes up, feed it to Kevin. He'll vet them. And we'll go from there. We have a 7-board ZBA. We have a 7, when I say 7 board, 7-member ZBA, 7-member planning board. We may want to consider dropping that back down to 5. We're not gonna do it right now, but we can do it legally. Excuse me.
Why did it go to 7? It was 5, it went to 7?
It's always been 7, but legally we can do 5 if we have a hard time replacing a member. Right now, we'll see, we can stay at 7. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I lose my voice when I talk. So that's where we're at. So Kevin, if you come up with a name, give it to Kevin, and then hopefully next month we'll have somebody to reappoint. We are okay, we have an alternate, so we will fulfill the obligation. Clerk update.
We are settling with taxes tomorrow for this year's tax season, so we're gonna close at 3 and head to the county, and Lindsay and I will go and get all of our books squared and get our check to the county. So that's tomorrow. Marriage season is in full season, so we're starting to get marriage appointments, and that keeps us marriage appointments all all summer long into the fall. So that's always fun. It's fun to do the marriage license, and so that's in season. Just our normal day-to-day stuff. We've been working on foils to dog license to, just a bunch of things like that. Mike and I and Lindsay have been talking about possibly considering an intern for the summer. The village does that. They have 2 or 3 that work with Karen.
We have no applicants yet this year.
So we're considering possibly looking into, instead of, looking for a third person, just keeping our records straight, keeping everything up to date. Karen Snyder's still coming in once a week, a couple times a month. So she's, something for us to just look at, maybe bringing somebody in for a couple months. They can do all of our records that need to be destroyed, things like that. So that's one thing we're looking to possibly look at.
Where do those folks come from?
So they just word of mouth, Pat says. So, their interns are so great. They've worked with Karen Snyder. They just come in, they work hard. They come in, I don't know how,
Generally
3-4 months?
Yeah, 3 months. We've gotten a lot of, they're either recent high school graduates or they're in between college. They're in between some of their college years. And once you get them and they're decent,
You
you usually got them for all their college time and until they go out to their real world job for their career. But we have had very good success with our interns. Actually, we've got our part-time employees. They're not interns at the recreation department. We get them from a lot of them from SUNY Cortland, who are in the athletic programs, and so or recreation programs, and it's a great fit for them to come back and work for our recreation department over the summer, doing exactly what they will eventually be doing when they go out after graduation.
Yeah, so we really like that idea. We might steal it from you.
Absolutely.
And plus we like that Karen Snyder oversees it. Like she can say, okay, you destroy these, and she kind of oversees everything, and so it's monitored as well. So I think we should.
So if you guys are okay with it, we got the money in the budget to do a position like that. It's not gonna be a high paying position. And it'll help get the office caught up. We had a young fellow, was Brooks' son, came in for a month, right?
Yeah, it was about a month.
And he helped tremendously. We used to have Donna, then she retired. And she did it. It's just tremendous amount of bookwork, filing and stuff that has to be done.
Do they have to be 18?
I don't think so. They could probably be 17, 18.
We could definitely look into that. It's things like scanning into Laserfiche, like records that we could just say, hey, could you just stand here, scan these into Laserfiche, and then we have them forever. That would just save Lindsay and I like hours and hours of work. So.
They're not handling dangerous equipment until 17, 18, as long as they got their working papers, they'd be
Yeah.
fine. Are you guys all right with that? I don't think we need a formal vote. We got the budget for it, and we thought we'd just run it by the board to make sure everybody was good with that. So we'll start actively searching.
Use the Facebook page.
That's true.
Okay. Anything
Do we
else?
feed through the high school on that, or TC3 and those types of?
Yeah, and we would be happy to call, like TC3. All my kids went to Cortland State, so I could easily get, we could get a phone call in, anybody interested in government.
You may know somebody that's interested in it. So, somebody.
I try to talk people out of that.
What's that?
I try to talk people out of government.
But they're working for a great town, what can you say? But again, the paperwork's just amazing. The girls do a great job. They're super busy here all the time, and just amazing how much stuff that has to be done. All right, lower level update. Lower level is 98% complete. We just got a few little odds and ends. Our generator is now online. It came online 2 weeks ago, right after we lost power, but we got it online. It's working great. So when the power goes off, we timed it. It's up and running. Has to be up and running between 10 and 12 seconds. The first time it took 12 seconds was fully operational. Excuse me. It's supposed to do it within 10. So I'm sure as it does it once or twice. It's set up to cycle every Saturday at 1 o'clock. And it does a live cycle. It'll start and it'll run for 15 minutes, actually turn the power off in the building and switch over. Because you can do it 2 ways, and I said I want a live one, because if the motor just starts, it's not activating everything, how do we know it's gonna work right? And it's monitor, we got a key thing where it tracks it. And actually we had it, the main monitor we installed in the police department in their monitoring room, so it's always being looked at. I got the company that put that in. Yes, Pat?
Mike, will that be Saturday at 1 o'clock PM or 1 o'clock in the morning?
PM.
PM, okay. Just in case we have anybody working in here.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, it's at PM. And we can change it to a different time, but I thought that would be the best opportunity at this. Like I said, it's 10 seconds, everybody come back on. One thing that we had to do for our courts, which I didn't realize didn't have battery backup for their computers. Every other department here that's under the town does have it. The village was short a couple. I don't know if you guys are gonna do anything about that one.
We're looking at our process. We've got our key computers have battery backup, but not all.
The police department, I know, he said he had it all. Because what happens, as you know, you got a computer. If your power goes off, you could lose your data, the computers go out. We're set up here that the power goes off, it runs on our batteries, and then we don't lose anything, nothing shuts off, it beeps for a couple seconds, and we're up. We bought them for the courts, they're $89 a piece, so it wasn't like it was a big deal. So I didn't realize the courts didn't have it. And I would have thought they would have, because that's a pretty important process, what they're doing. So we're all set, everybody is set, we got all the battery backups for everybody, and we're good to go. The only other thing is, they're putting the pictures there, we've met with Martin and stuff, and they like the idea along our back wall downstairs, that it's gonna be a nice place for future pictures. As a matter of fact, he asked me to call the school, and I talked to Pat around it, because I don't have any contacts at the school, but they have Carpenter pictures that are in storage. So we wanted to see, I think 7 or 8 of them. Do you remember, Pat, what he said, 7 or 8?
He said there's quite a few.
That he would love to get them, and we could put them downstairs as the perfect place in between the posts. They can go up high, and it would make the most concentration of those pictures any place in central New York. And they'd be on loan, just like these pictures out here, but it'd be a nice addition to have them here for the future. So we're looking at that. So Martin's happy. Martin was involved in part of this. These are great pictures. Pat's got to figure out where we're going to put the mayor's pictures.
They're all in timeout in the corner of my office right now.
So there's some options on that, so we'll figure that out and come back. It's not being disrespectful to the past mayors, but that just makes more sense having those pictures there. I gotta say, Pat, though, we're gonna adjust those pictures because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I was wondering if they did that intentionally or not. It seems like it was intentional, and
I gotta find out, because I can't stand crooked stuff.
I was looking at that too, kind of going, you weren't the only one.
Okay, all right. Okay, going on for our lower label, tables and chairs. I want to get these tables and chairs ordered. You got prices in front of you, been researching prices. This is our best price, so I can put more documentation with it. We can get a 10-pack of chairs. So it'd be 40 chairs. There's just like the ones, not the ones we're sitting in, but the ones out there that they're sitting in, that got the cushions and stuff. It's not a bad price. 40 chairs, $1,411 delivered here for downstairs. And we can move the downstairs chairs back up here so we can start using that room. Along with that, I want to get the tables. Looking to get 12 walnut dark tables. They're gonna be 70 inches long. They're gonna be the 2 foot wide ones, so they're not super wide for conference tables, so we can line them up with our chairs, so we can get using that room. So I'd like to, any discussion on that and get a motion on that moving forward. We'll take this money, we got the money, we'll take it out of our, building program money, the contingency. I've got money left in our contingency to do this stuff. That was part of our thought process when we set the money aside, so. Thoughts, discussion on that? So I need a motion then?
I'll make the motion that we purchase 40 chairs for $1,411.96 and 12 tables for $4,332 off Amazon.
Second on that?
I'll second that.
So part of, on the tables, they'll also fold up and they're on rollers, so one person can set the room up, they can roll them over on the side. So if we need the room just as a big, for all seats, or if we need more conference tables, it won't be like these here where it takes 2 or 3 people to muscle them around, that way one person can set them up and make changes. So those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried, okay. The next part of it is, we need to get a sound system. So Caleb been working on this, we worked with the Arts Center, and, we got some feedback, so that's here. Caleb, you wanna jump in on this one?
Sure. We did some research and we came back with, we're gonna try to go with a product through Owl Labs. The county has it in 3 or 4 of their, 3 or 4 of their conference rooms. And if anybody's not familiar with what the Owl is, if you set it right here on a tripod, it will pick up whoever's talking and it will record that audio visual, and then if somebody out there starts talking, it'll spin around and it'll pick that up. So rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, this works. The county has it. They've had good luck with it. I think it's going to be a good move for downstairs. We'll try it, and if we like that one, then I say we get another one for up here. I think this will just help us moving forward with kind of mainstreaming what we're trying to do. And if it works well, then we can put our stuff right online quicker and easier. But starting first downstairs, that'll be the final piece for getting that room put together. We can buy it directly through Owl Labs. And the one that Mike and I were looking at is the Meeting Owl 3 with an expansion mic. I think this one reaches, what, Mike, is it 8 or 10 feet?
Yes.
So, so I make a motion that we pursue the Owl Labs with a expansion mic for $1,248.
And we gotta add 2 things to it. For some reason, I didn't include, there should have been one for a TV. We got the stand for $38, but there was the TV. Do you remember, can you explain the TV? Sorry, I didn't bring that.
So, we also, so we've got a TV bracket here, but we were looking at putting a flat screen, 75-inch wide on the back wall. So if you walk in the door downstairs, putting a flat screen that can be easily used with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth capable. Hook your laptop up to it. Just trying to keep things simplified. And we went that route because, well, a lot of it was cost. You can get a really good one for. Do you have the sheet right in front of you?
I don't, but it was $749.
Yeah. Get a brand new one with a warranty delivered to the door for $749. Put it on the wall. The other ones that I've been looking at that said, you know, you're going to be using this 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. They're in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. I don't think we'll exceed using a TV more than 10 hours a week. Maybe that might be on the high end.
That might be on the high end, yeah. Till we get going with it, I don't know. I know the town, I'd like to start using it because we can put our agenda and all our paperwork up on a screen behind us. The village does Zooming, which we don't do. We got Mike here taping our meetings now, but we need to start doing that, and I could see us Zooming in the near future, our meetings, because that's the way things are going. So we'd like to get that room set up. And then also for conferences, like the police, Chief Pittman's already asked if they can start using it for conferences with the police department. The state likes to use it for conferences, and that's what they need. They need the big screen where they can load their stuff on it so people can see it. So we would like to get set up, and that was the plan in creating that room. And then if it all works well, we've already got a bigger TV for here, that we can put that in here. We just don't have that much, but I don't want to get two till we get one figured out. And I did talk to Dan with the town. The only other thing we may have to do is a smaller TV for the Zoom meetings. Depends how that room is set up. They may need, so if the monitor is behind you, the big monitor where you can project your meeting notes and stuff, you may need another TV over to the side just for the Zoom meeting so people can also look in, and that would be a very minimum cost. And it's just some wiring, which was already pre-wired for a lot of that as we were looking at stuff. Am I correct on that, Pat?
Yeah.
To get set up that way. So right now, we're just looking to get the big TV, this owl, and the mount and get started. Discussion on that. So you're making the motion to get the owl, the TV.
So I'll make a motion that we purchase a Meeting Owl 3 with an expansion mic, TV bracket, and it was an LG or a Samsung that we had looked at.
I get you. I thought I put it in the
all
packet.
three combined, $1,984. And when we looked, we compared the prices online, and these were the most competitive ones we found. So.
And actually, I think the TV actually come up cheaper because I see it on sale here the other day, so we might be able to hit that sale, and it was quite a lot less than that, but that would be the most. So you made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any other discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll get that one. Thank you. So I got the speed limit request on Sweeney Road, which we were looking at it last month. My recommendation, I left it on here, I would like to table that because we're gonna get the speed control. Let's get a month or two of the speed under our belts, and then we can make a better decision what we wanna do. All right, if you guys are in agreement with that?
Yeah.
You guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The seasonal road review is next. Caleb, Sarah, and Dan been working on that. They had a rough draft last month. Larry Jones was here on that meeting. He had some concerns. He wrote a draft that he just presented it. I got it to Sarah, Caleb, and Dan's been looking at it. I want to table that one too. We're not in a hurry. We want to make a very good decision when we do it. They need to review that and then come back in another month or so with more information for us to review. So I just want to give you an update where we were on that one. So we are working on it, but no decisions will be made at this time. Dan, did you have anything you want to update us on?
No, I guess I just touched base on the large AES solar project. They've kind of gone somewhat dark on us again. Attorney in Rochester's reached out to them a handful of times in the last couple of months and has not received any response back. So we're not really sure where the larger project stands at this point. But we assume it's still moving forward as planned, but.
What about the smaller one? I've heard that's shrunk. The project has shrunk.
I don't believe it shrunk. Last we spoke, we met with them, it was a month ago now probably. They said that they had not changed their site plan at all. So I haven't heard that.
It shrunk from the original plan, but then when they realized the three-phase power lines couldn't handle the power, they shrunk it at that time.
Oh, okay.
But since it's
already been
stabilized,
shrunk. Okay.
it's stayed
So it stayed
stable.
the same since it was approved.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I honestly say they've been very good to work with. They funded our escrow accounts. They've done everything we've asked to this point. I did have to get after them because our escrow account did get depleted. We weren't getting any place, so I called, made a couple phone calls. Next day we got funded. So they did fund us. But to keep moving forward, they need to honor the road plan agreement
Yeah,
that
there's
we.
still an outstanding road use agreement which they need to execute. and stormwater plans still haven't been executed. So until that is taken care of, they're not putting any shovels in the ground.
And then the Homer Solar, the big project, we are having some, they gone silent. We've been paying legal bills that's supposed to be coming out of an escrow account. It's funny how it was set up. Homer's been paying their share, we ain't been reimbursed, so I've been on them about that to see where that is. So between Dan, Fran, that's the Cortlandville's lawyer, because it's a three-way partnership, Cortlandville, Homer, and Solon, we all went together on hiring this lawyer. So we're making sure the lawyer's being paid, but we're supposed to be being reimbursed. And to this date, we have not, and we made 5 payments. I think it was totaling, what did you say, Brooke, do you remember? About 6,000-7,000, right?
6 to 8.
It's not huge, but it's still enough money that we need to be reimbursed for that. And again, our one thing is we will not issue any building permits, so they can't. Even though it's succeeded by New York State, they still have to, till we get that ironed out. And like Dan said, they've gone silent, so we are looking at that. Okay, we need to go into executive session. It's a contract discussion that we need to have. I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight.